Hey guys, so today we're going to be taking a look at the new Siege General, Christina. Her base skill is pretty decent 50 attack, defense, 40 HP. She doesn't have the leading clause, she's only for attacking, so that's going to hold her back. No march size on her base skill. But when we compare it to other Siege Generals, it's a very good base base skill as far as Siege Generals go. Currently the best one that's available. Once you fully ascend her, she's pretty nothing really special about her full ascension. She gets decent attack. Currently the highest, tied with Stephen. Very nice defense. Decent HP, 90%, the highest. So she does have the highest stats in all categories, but she does get 0% march size, and that really holds her back. Her specialty, once again, nothing too crazy. The highest for attack. Defense is very solid, and the HP is very good as well. But once again, she gets no march size. Her Covenant and Skin is slightly better. She has 5% march size here, which is the only march size she gets. 10% defense, 10% HP, and 15% attack, which makes for a very solid Covenant. And that's really the one saving grace of this general is that Covenant. Attributes are very high, as are most of the recent generals that have been released, so nothing out of the ordinary there. When we look at the totals, she is the highest attack value general for Siege, followed in second place by Steven, but Steven can't take the attack book, and she can, so she does have very high total attack. The defense, she is the highest defense, and HP, she's also the highest HP, so she's very survivable general. But if you compare her to Steven, which would be the closest contender for base stats across the board, she's not too much higher than him, except for in defense. She gets a little bit extra. And then the 5% total march size is what really holds her back. It's very low for a siege general. Now, just looking at all those stats, you probably think she's a very good general. But when you look at how she actually performs in a march, if we're looking at the K40 march, 2,000% buff, her total attack isn't great. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's not really what you see with new generals that are released. There are a lot of generals that are higher damage than her. Even Palace, who's been in the game for a very long time, has equal attack to her. Got Theodosius is above her, Gunther, Muijing, Maurice de Sax, Stephen, and Theobald. So she does have high damage, high stats across the board, but that march size really holds her back in terms of total attack. If we look how she would perform with the T11 troop, if you're doing like a T11 siege bomb, it's pretty much the same story. She still gets beat out by the same general, so that's not really no really extra advantage there. As an assistant, she does perform a little bit better because she gets to use that base skill, and that gives her advantage over the other generals. The specialty stats are okay, and the Covenant really is what's saving her once again. If you look at the total attack for T15 as the assistant, she falls behind Cleos, Theo, Gunther, Melisande, and Steven. If we change this to a T11 March, it's the same general she falls behind. On the assistant side, she is the highest damage for assistant, but not by much. Those other generals can get up there pretty much the same. Defensively, she is the highest for assistants. And for HP, she's pretty decent with a couple that are above her. But even when we're comparing assistants, there's still generals that get a lot higher march size than she does. You can easily get one that gets 8% to 10%, even up to 16%. So in the assistant role, she performs better than she does in the main role. As a main general, she's just mediocre. As an assistant, she's good. I wouldn't say great. She's definitely not the best, but she's all right. So with looking at all those stats, it kind of got me thinking, like, why did they add her if she's just going to be mediocre across the board? It's not very Evony of them to do. So I looked, maybe there's a special combo with someone that she works really well with. So that's why these ones are highlighted in blue. These are combinations of generals with their. I just put their total stats combined in this category and this one here, just to look at their damage. And I also counted for skill books if they can take them, the attack and march size ones. If we look at total damage, the best siege march you can get right now for damage is Theodosius with the Stephen Assistant. That'll get 32 billion increased attack. If you use Christina as an assistant with Theo, she does perform pretty well. Almost as good as a Stephen Assistant, but not quite getting there. If you want to use her as a main general, if you can combine her with Napoleon, the normal Napoleon, and I chose Napoleon as an example because as an assistant, Napoleon has a very high march size, the highest in the game, so that can kind of help compensate for her lack of march size. And that march size does, alright, get to 28 billion. And then if you combine her with the best assistant she's compatible with, in terms of damage, that's Stephen, it's slightly less than a Napoleon assistant would be. So it's not terrible. It's just kind of mediocre. But yeah, if you have a combination of siege generals already that are any of the ones that are higher damage or any of the good assistants, they're gonna perform better than her pretty much. But if you don't have a siege general and you just happen to get her, pick her up, she's not a terrible option, but she's nothing really special to look at either. So that's all I got for this video. Hope y'all found it informative, and I'll catch you on the next one.